Hello and welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to be doing something amazing. You're probably watching it on the title. What's going on? Why is my... What we're going to be doing is exporting a shader from Unity into a texture. Let's go. Let's go. So, the first thing we're going to do is create a new project. We're going to go with the Universal 3D, which is the most logical sense for me. I'm not going to go with the HDRP right now. Accept and continue. Okay. I don't know why this computer is always prompting me this accept and continue. While it's creating the project, let's explain a little bit what I've done. What you can see here right now, it's a little bit of a file that I've created. It's called shader2texture unity.unity package. What this is doing, what this holds is all the necessary files, basically 3 files, 1 script and 1 custom rendered texture, and 1 material, which is going to be a display material, right? So what you really want to do now, it's create a shader. What you really need to do, imagine you've created the shader of your life. You've created the shader of your life, something that's awesome, that no one can believe how you made it. And well, you just want to have your shader kind of in a picture, right? You want to have your texture. You want to have your shader in a texture. So that's what this package does. Right? You can export your shaders. If you have a material that samples the shader, you sample this material on the custom rendered texture, you assign the custom rendered texture on the script, and you click export, and you basically export the rendered texture into a real texture, PNG texture, which is awesome. I think it's great. So we're just going to do that once it finishes setting up the project for us. By the way, you can download already the package while it's creating the project. You will probably use it before I'm using it, which is insane. Okay. So, is this thing... Yeah, this thing seems to be recording. Okay. Right, we have the project set up. So now what you need to do is, if you have downloaded the... Okay. Let's wait a little more. All right, we have it. So now if you have the project, if you've downloaded the Unity package from itch.io, which is the link you have down in the description right here, down below. I don't know if you saw it. Yeah. So you grab the shader2texture Unity package and you drop it inside, not inside the console. Raymond, wake up. So you drop it into your assets folder, right? It will prompt you that it just has 3 files. It's really cheap. It's not an expensive piece of crap. It's a pretty inexpensive piece of crap that I've made myself. The reason you're going to be able to use this is because, as well, promo for me, I made a noise generator 2000, which is something you're probably seeing right now, right here. It's the noise generator 2000. Just go there, download it. You will be able to export any kind of noise with any kind of file format. Gradient noise, Voronoi noise, simple noise, tiled, not tiled, rotated, scaled, contrasted, adjusted, do whatever you want with it. Export it, use it for your games, use it for your textures, your shaders, your materials, your stuff, right? And that's it. We have already the Unity package, the shader2texture exporter Unity package, which gave us something called scripts. Okay, this is maybe something I need to fix, right? It's within scripts and blah 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 blah. But we go into custom texture exporter, and we can already set up something in our scene. The first thing you want to do is go create an empty object in the center of the scene, which is going to be our texture exporter, right? So we go texture exporter. So next thing we need is a plane or a quad. We are not aiming for performance now. Performance is not our aim currently, so we can use a plane, because for the budgetary reasons that it has more polygons. We don't care. Like, you can see the shaded wireframe. Oh shit, not the same keyboard as I'm used to. So yeah, what you really want to do now is sample your material, right? What we have here is a display material, right? This is the display material that will basically sample from our custom texture, so we will be able to see what's going on. Okay, You don't need to do anything else and just put the display material into the object that you want to sample from. This custom render texture is where you're going to put your shader, your material that holds your shader. And currently it's going to be in here, right? In here. Not on the top, not on the top, on the bottom, right? And you would need to say initialization mode, source, instead of texture and color, you put it to material, okay? Let's go into what we need to do, okay? We're going to go into our folder. Let's call this texture exporter. Remember, that's going to appear on scripts. I will probably fix it before you get the file. But this is a little bit of an issue I made because I just exported it to test. I was doing this in a video game. And that's it. So we're going to create here a new shader, yeah, right? Just let's try to test this and show you how it works, right? We create a URP lit shader graph. Perfect. This allows us to create some really cool shader, right? This is the shader. Name it the way you want. Coming back. Coming back. Oh my god. So, what we needed to do, as I was saying, name your shader the way you want, right? We don't care, right? It's the we don't care shader, right? It's the we don't care. Oh my god, computer, please go a little faster. So, we open the shader, right? And we have the shader graph right here, right? We will give us a little bit more space to work with. And now we can start creating our wonderful shader. Imagine you probably already have this shader. You have your things done. So let's create something simple, right? The reason I was using this, let's do it for the given example. I was trying to make a chain, right? And I was trying to make a tileable chain. What I thought about was going to use ellipses, right? I'm going to use ellipse. We can duplicate this ellipse, right? And what we want to do is create a sort of like a circle or a donut. And that's going to be really simple because using 0.4 and 0.4, whoops, 0.4. And we basically go subtract B to A. And here you go. Here's your donut. So now, what we need to do, it's kind of elongated a little bit, right? Because this is going to be a chain, right? And we don't get a chain that looks like this. So we want to have an oval, pretty much, and we want to have a height of, I don't know, 0.6, maybe 0.8, right? Probably 0.8 is pretty good. 0.8. Nah, this is going to be too less, 0.6. Right? Perfect. We have a similar thingy, 0.5. This needs to be 0.6, probably 0.6 on the top. Perfect. We have this little bit of a thingy, right? We can extend it a little bit more, right? 0.9 maybe. So we can have a little bit of a 0.6 or 7, right? Yeah, better. So now that we have this, right, that we have this kind of chainy looking thing, we need to kind of duplicate it, right? Because we want to have a chain, right? And a chain is not a chain if it's not chaining. I mean, who wouldn't like this, right? Come on. Who doesn't like this kind of invented terms of chaining? Well, does that term actually exist? Well, in order to solve this, there's two simple solutions. We can blend it with opacity, or we can add it. We can basically make an addition and add this to this. And wow, we didn't see any change, right? So it's a little bit of a problem. Now we need to get some UVs. So we go tiling and offset. And now with this tiling and offset, what we want to do is give them a tiling and offset here, which is going to be a little different than the one we will give them right here on the bottom, which is going to be a different tiling and offset. So, for example, for this tiling and offset on the top, we're going to give it minus the offset 0.5. And here we're going to go minus 0.5. Okay? You see this? You see what's happening? You see what's happening? Okay. Okay. I let you think twice, okay? This is what's happening. We could make it differently, right? Because this is not looking maybe correct. 0.5 and then 0.5 here, minus 0.5, okay? That's better, right? That's better. For you, that's better. The top, on the bottom, okay? Simple. What we need to do is now extend this. Extend it! So we need to go extend it to 0.9 maybe. And this one with a height of I don't know, 1.1, right? And here a height of 1.1, no, 1, and here 1.1, right? That's kind of what we're looking for. We're looking to kind of overlap them in 1. So now they are not truly overlapping. We need to make them a little bit longer. So maybe this one goes to 1.2. And this one goes to 1.05. Okay? And you can see now we have a chainy thing. 1.2, 1.2, and 1.05. 1.05. Perfect. Here you can see we have a chain, right? That's a chain. That's pretty much a chain. That's what we need. Chains. And imagine you have this amazing shader, right? And you have sampled it and you say, oh, it looks awesome. It's incredible. You want to sample it as well as a transparent material, right? Because we want to have maybe not transparent, but have a little bit of alpha clipping, right? So we can sample the alpha as well. So here we go. We have the alpha, the base color, and everything kind of, right, that we have got from this thing. We can give it a color so we can actually sample it, but it doesn't matter really, right? It doesn't really matter. Now we save the shader, right? Simple. Save the shader and we go back into our project. If this thing allows us to go to project, it's pretty hot today. Wait, what's going on? Oh, no, we're not. Okay, we're back in the project. Now that we have this thing, let's create a material from our shader, right? That's the only thing we need to do. Create the material from the shader we've created. The we don't care shader. And now, go material, and you can see in the material that we have sampled the thing. The problem is that we are adding them, so that's why I didn't actually like that. We can saturate it. Saturate. And with the saturation in on the alpha, look at that thing fixing itself. Nope, not really. I mean, not really. The other way I can fix it, I think I can fix it. Oh yeah, now it's fixed. Okay, that was it. So now that we have the chainy thing, right? Something that looks like a chain, we can just maybe we could drop this material right here, but we already have a material that samples that, right? So we will open a new project folder, right? Go here, make add tab, project, right? You will be able to inspect your project. Oh, whoa, what's going on, buddy? Oh, whoa. What, buddy? Thank you. Oh my God, thank you. What the fucking hell happened there? So now we need to go into our, I don't know, we hold this straight and we go into our, where are we? Texture exporter. We go into our custom texture exporter. We go into our texture, our custom texture, as I said before, and we go into our shader graphs, the material we've created, and we drop it into material. Okay, this is going to sample already the material. Remember to have initialization mode to real time and update mode to real time, okay? That's the only important thing. Once we have that done, it's now the only thing left. It's, as you can see, we have the clipping part. It's a clipping shader. So it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. The last thing we need is to have an export, right? It's bring the script where we need to export the things, right? In texture, it's expecting the texture we have in here, the custom texture exporter. In texture resolution, this is basically the export resolution we're going to have. If you want to have a 4K texture, you put 496, you will have a 4K export. If you want a 124 or 512, usually export at 512 because it's reasonably a good texture size. And this is basically something to display. By now it's a debug thing to show you that the texture has been created or not. And the default save path, this is the only thing you need to set to finalize the position, well, where you want to store the data, right? So what we're going to do, it's show you how I would do it, right? I would kind of create a folder, right? We could name this folder, I don't know, textures or shader textures, I don't know, shader textures, right? And we can just go here, copy this path. Basically, we go and copy the path, and we could just go here, copy location, and we go into our Unity. We drop the location, Control V. So now this technically should store the texture that we put here. Texture test, right? And we're going to have a little bit of a test now. This doesn't matter, okay? And before exporting, you need to go set texture size, right? So the texture size has been set and initialized and everything. Set texture size again, because I just want to make sure it's correctly exported. And we go save texture. So now the texture technically has been stored here. And as you can see, we have the texture with the alpha map and everything. We can see all the channels. You could see the channels really. It has the alpha mask and everything, and you can basically see that we have exported the texture. Now what we can do in order to optimize, and this is really useful for optimizing video games and not having shaders constantly sampling whatever you want to sample. But baking this data can be crucial in order to get more performance. So now that we have this image, really, we can just drag and drop it here. If you take a look at this, right, it's everything not sampled because it only has an alpha mask because I didn't add a color. But if we did added a color, we would have had way more data to play with. But in this case, it's just an alpha mask. So now what we can do, it's go into, I don't know, whatever material we want to create, right? We can create any material, right? And we can just drop this texture to sample. And now we can go here, drop our base map texture, right? And edit alpha clipping, and look at that. And look at that. We're basically sampling the texture we've exported from the shader. And this is baked. This is not going to be resampled again. This is just the baked data. And it's perfectly sampled. You can sample up to 4K textures or shaders. You can color them. Let me show you how you can color it, because if you color it, it's actually a lot better. So now let's go ahead and add some color. So now let's go multiply by, I don't know, a color, create node, color. I don't know, what color do you want this thing to be? Blue? Blue. Let's put blue. Multiply whatever we have by blue. And now we have this thing into the color. We're sending four, right? Four samples out 4, right? This gives us 4. So it's great. Save. Now it's perfect. And now we can do the exact same as we were doing before, right? Could go back into our texture exporter. We can go back to our display material, sample our display material, right? This is important. And we're using the display material. And now we go into our export. We go here. We say whatever, no texture, color blue. And we exported the textures, this path at maybe 124, right? to get more resolution. Okay, maybe you want to have a, let's put it at 32 bits. 32. Let's show you, because it does actually work. So now you go set texture size before, and now you can see it has been sampled at this size. It's cool, right? This is pretty cool. And now you can basically go ahead, but we want to have more detail, right? 128. Set texture size, better. And now we export it, right? We export it. We export. Save texture. Boom. We've saved the texture here. And I don't know why it doesn't have color. How did I export it with color last time? I don't know, but somehow I did it last time. It's pretty curious, because technically this is blue, and we're sampling this blue shader, right? This blue texture, right? Here we're sampling this thing. This thing, right? It should be blue. Red, green, blue, alpha. What does it? Oh, fuck. That's it. That was it. Okay. I was a little bit bad. But you know, you get to see it. Something is not correctly working. It did work before. Okay. So all the data is there, right? The data is right there. Yeah, this is what we should be exporting, right? Technically. So yeah. Okay. Fix. Right? This is fixed, technically. This is blue. So if we export this now, right? If we go here and we go custom texture exporter, right? We go here, 512, blue finally. We go here, set texture size. We go save texture. And now if we go here, it's not blue. Fuck the what? Well, then we are left without a video. We are left without a video. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. This didn't work. It didn't work. It did work to make alphas, but it didn't work for whatever I was looking for. Sad. Pretty sad.